Welcome, Dr. James Beckett, Sports Card Insights, another episode from the Hobby Dinner Conversation. This was a question from Skepi, who had come the farthest, and he was starting it out with a conversation about macroeconomic conditions and especially the gold standard and our retreat from that. Have you really made money? If inflation and gold is going up, gold is the safest investment in the perspective of many financial types. But same people that were here for the Hobby Dinner Conversation. Thank you, sponsors: Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, Heritage Auctions, Hugs and Scott Auctions, Mike Stadium Sports Cards, Burbank Sports Cards, ComC.com, and Beckett Media, Beckett Grading, Beckett Authentication. So here's the conversation. Skepi started us off, and as always, it goes in many different directions. So I hope you enjoy.
I have to set up this question. Some context before I ask it. We've been talking about overproduction of cards. Is it overproduction of cards or is it overproduction of money? Here's what I mean by that. If we look through history, we always had an anchor to what a dollar was worth, right? We could look back and say, okay, if I had this many dollars, it would give me 1 ounce of gold. Okay, if we go back to 1925 and we say 1 ounce of gold would buy me a custom men's suit. Today, that same ounce of gold would buy you roughly a custom men's suit. Okay. If I had a card I bought in the year 2000 and I paid roughly $400 for it, that was 1 ounce of gold at that time. Today, that 1 ounce of gold, if that card had gone up to say $4,000, I can still buy that card for 1 ounce of gold. Did the card go up in value or did the card just go up in dollars? So this gets around to my question. How are people going to start to understand what their dollars are buying them and what the true value of those cards are? Because if I bought that card back in 2000 and it was $400 and we went to the year 2025 and now it's $12,000, now I need 3 ounces of gold to buy it. Did my card go up now? It did, because I needed more gold to do it. So how are people going to understand what true value is as a buyer, as a seller, and how are you going to value your cards going forward with that perspective?
Unfortunately, Skepi, they're excited about their nominal unadjusted profit. I bought it for 400. I sold it for 4,000. I made $3,600. Now, it took 36 years. People don't understand compounding interest on the good side and on the bad side. I have things in my collection that I paid 1 cent on the dollar, and they're not necessarily good deals because that was 50 years ago.
They didn't buy it because it cost that ounce of gold. They bought that piece of cardboard, and they don't care if it's worth half an ounce 25 years from now, most of the time. When a collector sells me a collection they've had for 35 years, it's all based on their perspective. Everyone values their collection differently. I've bought vintage collections. I've walked into people's houses, and this is the most mind-blowing thing in the world. Jackie Robinson rookies to partial 52 set and up to 2005 cards. He was literally looking just to break even on the entire collection. He did it for the pure joy with no capital investment whatsoever. It's all relative. I've always gone to your thought process on what you think your collection is worth. I'm a multi-billionaire with no money in the bank because I have a lot of sports cards at home. And that's how I see it. There is a dollar value involved. Let's say in the super modern, let's say for Topps boxes, I'm just turning, burning, making my $3 a box and selling 1,000 of them a month. But when it comes to single cards, I bought something for $100. I sold it for 1,000 10 years later. I wish I had sold my entire collection in 2020, but I didn't. I saved too much stuff. So do I regret it? I would have had a lot more ounces of gold now than I would have.
So I want to make sure that the question, the anchor of gold is to put in perspective what the dollar buys you, not necessarily people paying attention to gold.
But it sounds like you're trying to bring a dispassionate, analytical side to it And there may be a business opportunity for a syndicate, not Kevin O'Leary, but somebody that says, you know what, we're going to look at this in true value, which is, I think, what you're getting at.
Collectors.
And not the collector thought, but just as an asset class that to really make a return on this investment. And looking at it that way, that you really haven't made money if it went up 7% a year.
Sure.
Because you could have done lots of other things there. So if you brought that mindset to it, the problem is, I think collectors are not able to do that. It would take somebody from outside the hobby that said, I don't care who, and is that what repackers are doing? They don't care the player. They don't care the card. They just want to know what's the comp, and we'll pay 80%. Give us all you got, and we're going to put them in these packages and sell them. Then we're going to get them back, and we're going to throw them back out there.
That's their business model.
It's like when someone's buying a Topps box, they don't.
If you told them this is a bad deal, you shouldn't buy it. They'll say, how much is it? It's $120. This is a bad deal. You shouldn't buy it. Can you give me change for that?
There's a perfect example. I had someone come into my shop today. They brought one of those stinking yellow buckets. Old man, then he says, I've got 30 more of these yellow buckets in mine. Okay. He comes in. I opened this stupid yellow bucket. It's a collection. I bought it for $1,200. Literally, he thought it was told all 90s stuff.
Yeah.
At the bottom, there's an 89 Tiffany and an 88 score glossy set in there. Awesome set. So I had to explain to him, you got lucky. He'd been bringing me stuff for weeks and weeks, and I'm paying him $20 a box, $20 a box.
Yeah.
Finally, I lectured him. He was the most shocked human being on the face of the earth. He was like, oh my gosh. So really, it comes into something goes up, something goes down. I could have paid him $100 for that collection, and he would have taken it and walked.
When I was back in the day, it freaked somebody out if you made them an offer that was beyond what they thought.
Yeah, it was
how did you pull it off?
I explained to him what an 89 Bowman Tiffany set was and an 88 score glossy set was. I said, that's the real good set. That little orange label on it is really good. That's what I do because consciously I can't sleep with myself if I buy. Now, if at the end of the day, if I'm buying a junk box and there's 386 Fleer Jordans at the bottom and everything's out of order, I don't feel awful, but that's sitting right in front of my face. He didn't know. I didn't know. I get people who bring me junk wax deals. Let's junk wax 87 Fleer, 87 Tops. The guy brought me a box. Sometimes I'll ask him what they want, but sometimes I open. He was expecting $300. I came in at $1,200. He's like, really? Everyone comes in and thinks they're smarter than you. But sitting behind a counter, I see some of the craziest in the thought process. Or I'll get one customer who always comes in. He's a reverend. He went to Baptist Church in Arlington. His name's Jimmy. But he'll just bring his box to me. He goes, Bill, I need $300 today. I don't even look. I just give him $300 every time. I've got guys who sell me cards constantly at the open brand new Panini card.
I'll be there on Monday.
Just like, Jim will be there Monday. I know. If it's 3,000, I'm looking. But he's constantly $300. But guess what? I give him the 300. He spends 240 on wax. I'm totally content with it. I got to fill up my gas tank. He'll be back next week. Do the same exact thing every time. So I know I've got
card pawn shop.
It's all relative to the amount of work I want to put into the collection. How many cards do you want a book for $3?
It's not just the work, it's the timetable for you.
Yeah.
It goes at the end of your stack behind the other 10 million.
Gary.
And so when are you going to get to the bottom of the pile?
I will not. There's no end.
My wife is...
Because Tops is going to keep my wife money. That's why it doesn't go home. But you'll never get to the bottom. As long as you got a good business plan, you can just keep making money.
Yeah.
And collectors do it for fun. At the end of the day, I have to view it that way. Of course, I'd rather have Bowman, Tom Brady's than modern Joe Burrow rookies.
And I think the natural way a collector thinks is they're not really worried about the values.
Not at all.
It's the true collector.
Real collector.
They're true collectors.
In fact, if you ask them about the value, if they blow you off, then they're a true collector.
Right. Most of the investors that you see are moving stuff very rapidly. Yeah. Very rapid.
They're not a true, I love buying collections from true collectors.
Yeah.
They give you the best deals because they don't care as much. The problem is you can never finished going through a true collector's collection. At the same time, you don't want to, I don't know the proper word that's politically correct.
You don't want to disrespect them.
You don't want to disrespect them and take everything for nothing, but most of the time they just don't care. I've had people give me blank stares when I say, I'm looking at an $80,000 collection. I say, what do you need? I get blank stares of, I don't know. What do you want to pay? I know it's 80,000. They literally don't care. I run a 54 PSA 9s. And I'm like, okay, what do you need? There's 9 Ryan 70 tops, Ryan 72 tops. I'm looking at them, what do you need? They're giving me a blank stare because of true collector. It's like my wife's sending me to the nursing home, sadly, and she wants me to get rid of this. And my kids are more into instruments than they are cards. I look at it and I pay what I think we should pay based on what we need to pay to make a living, and I move on. But it's scary. I'm sure I've seen people just walk in. They always tell me, I gave my stuff to Heritage. I'm like, darn it, I wish you could ride it to my shop first. But they bring me their leftovers. I get so many people because I'm 20 minutes from Heritage.
What I find with true collectors, they don't care what the price is when it's something that they want for their collection.
Yes.
They're willing to go to the mountaintop for it.
If they want.
They care about the prices when they have to sell stuff out of their collection to buy that thing that they just paid for. But I get it. If that's something you need for your collection, the white gold you've been looking for.
You never
you're
sold
willing.
something in order to buy something. You're really a true collector.
Yeah,
You want to have more cards,
Correct.
but you didn't get rid of other cards to get other cards.
no, you can't have all the cards.
You want to get all the cards.
I want everything.
Yeah, I want all the
Yeah.
cards. Yeah.
So when you buy an $80,000 collection and you put it into the perspective that I described, would that change your decision on what you might pay?
Based on
What you know the true value is based on the anchor we talked about,
what I'm going to sell for in the future.
what you're going to pay for today.
I only look at the here and now. So if I'm looking at an $80,000 collection, it's valued at this today, and I'm going to sell for this much tomorrow.
He's not going to have a lot of it in the future.
Yeah, but
My goal is not to have it, but I do.
Skepi, it's not a question of buying an $80,000 collection for $80,000.
Yeah.
If it's an $80,000 collection for $80,000, probably buying $80,000 worth of gold is an equal.
So here's another spin on it. So
To me, that's 120.
we just saw a card sell for $12 million, right?
Yes.
12.9.
Okay. In gold denomination, it was only about 7.8 is what it really sold for in denomination of gold based on when it was sold before, if we go back 4 years ago.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if we take a Mickey Mouse at 9.5 that sold for 11 million or whatever, that card in gold denomination today would be about a 27
So
million.
what up with the value of money? It's based on, cards are always going to increase in value to a collector. So you're thinking more of an investment type basis than a collector base. The thought process is, for me, if I'm buying a collection for $80,000, I'm going to pull $80,000 out of it and sell that $80,000. I'm still going to have $35,000 in cards.
Sure.
So I've already gotten the cash back. So then now there's another $35,000. That's what's going up in value for me.
But you're not going to go buy gold.
I'm not going to go buy gold. That's not going to do that.
If you bought gold in 2000 at only 10x, it's the other way around. What changed in the denomination? It tells you if people are paying too many dollars for it because there's too many dollars available.
No, but what it's saying, and Chris is benefiting from this, is that when gold goes up, collectibles go up. We've had a big run up in gold, and it's predictable that collectibles have run to world record prices.
Yeah.
But gold is at an all-time high.
It's not a coincidence.
Might be a cause and effect. What you're drawing attention to is that gold might be the prime mover that other things are working off. I don't know if you've got analysts in the background that are
Just in general, cash is losing value due to inflation since 2020. So to hedge against inflation, people are buying hard assets, which includes gold and
sports, high-end sports cards.
So if I'm going to spend 100, 200, $1 million for a card, I think I'd want a little bit deeper perspective on what I'm going to buy. That's what the point of view is.
You would, and many people would, but not everybody would.
Sure.
Because there's a joy of ownership, but just like with fine art, Or is it I get to have the painting?
Or a Ferrari that goes down half it's the same thing.
No, it was a different question.
Yeah, it's a good conversation.
But I just wanted to gather those
Okay.
thoughts. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Man in the house of cards is doing